HOA tried to ticket my armed security post. I filed a federal lawsuit and flew in the evidence. Have you ever wondered how far a homeowners association would go to flex its power, even when it's dead wrong? In the quiet, manicured streets of Willow Creek, a gated community in Virginia, retired Marine Colonel James Hartley thought he'd found the perfect place to enjoy his retirement. His lakeside cabin, nestled among towering pines, was his sanctuary, a reward for decades of service. But peace turned to chaos when the Willow Creek HOA decided his private security detail was a threat to their pristine image. What started as a petty dispute over a no unauthorized vehicles rule spiraled into a battle of principle, pride, and justice, with James at the center fighting an overzealous HOA that thought it could bully a man who'd faced war zones. It began on a crisp fall morning in 2023. James, a widower with a sharp mind and a no-nonsense demeanor, had hired a private security firm after a string of break-ins in nearby communities. His armed guard, stationed discreetly in an unmarked SUV near his cabin, was there to protect his home and his peace of mind. But the HOA, led by Karen Whitmoria, self-appointed guardian of neighborhood aesthetics, didn't see it that way. Karen, with her clipboard and an army of bylaws, spotted the SUV during her daily patrol. "Unacceptable," she muttered, scribbling a $200 ticket for unauthorized parking and slapping it on the vehicle's windshield. The security guard, a stoic ex-cop named Marcus, radioed James immediately. "Sir, they're trying to ticket me for doing my job." James was livid. He'd reviewed the HOA's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, when he bought the cabin, and there was no rule banning security vehicles. He marched to the HOA office, ticket in hand, demanding an explanation. Karen, perched behind her desk like a queen on a throne, smirked. "We have standards, Colonel Hartley. Your armed guard is scaring residents. Pay the fine or we'll escalate." James, his voice steady but laced with steel, replied, "Escalate? Ma'am, you have no idea who you're dealing with." That was the moment the battle lines were drawn. The truth was, Karen's crusade wasn't about safety, it was about control. The HOA's governing documents allowed for fines on nuisances, but the definition was vague, leaving room for interpretation. James's security detail, professional and unobtrusive, didn't fit any reasonable definition of a nuisance. Yet Karen, backed by a board of her loyalists, saw an opportunity to assert dominance. They sent a second ticket, then a third, each with a threatening letter warning of liens on James's property if he didn't comply. The fines piled up to $1,000 in a month. But what Karen didn't know was that James had a secret weapon. His son, Ethan, a brilliant civil rights attorney based in D.C. Ethan flew in from Washington, bringing with him a twist that turned the tide. He'd been monitoring HOA abuses nationwide and had a hunch Willow Creek's board was overstepping. Digging into public records, Ethan discovered that Karen's husband, a local contractor, had been awarded a lucrative landscaping contract by the HOA without competitive bidding. This conflict of interest violated Virginia's Nonprofit Corporation Act, which governed the HOA. Armed with this, Ethan advised James to fight, not just to clear the fines, but to expose the board's corruption. "Dad," Ethan said, "this isn't just about your security guard. It's about a power-hungry clique fleecing the community." The confrontation came at a packed HOA meeting in the community clubhouse. Karen, expecting James to grovel, was blindsided when he arrived with Ethan and a stack of documents. James stood tall, his military bearing commanding the room. "I'm not here to negotiate," he declared. "Your fines are baseless, and your board is corrupt." Ethan laid out the evidence. The vague nuisance clause, the lack of due process, and the shady contract with Karen's husband. Gasps rippled through the crowd as Ethan revealed that the HOA had no legal authority to ticket a private security vehicle, especially since James's cabin sat on a private lot, not HOA-controlled land. A surprise ally emerged, Mrs. Patel, a quiet widow who'd been fined for her grandson's skateboard. "They bullied me too," she said, her voice trembling. "It's time we stand up." Karen's face reddened as residents murmured in agreement. She tried to gavel the meeting to a close, but Ethan was relentless. "Under Virginia law, your security guards can't enforce traffic rules without being appointed as special conservators of the peace," he said, citing a 2023 advisory opinion from the state's attorney general. "Your tickets are unenforceable, and your actions open the HOA to lawsuits for unlawful detainment." The room erupted in applause, but Karen doubled down, sneering, "We'll see you in court." And so they did. James, with Ethan's guidance, filed a federal lawsuit against the HOA alleging violations of his Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures, as well as state law claims for abuse of power. The HOA's security guards, Ethan argued, had no authority to detain or ticket Marcus, a private contractor on private property. To prove it, James took a bold step. He flew in Marcus's dashcam footage from California, where the security firm's headquarters stored the recordings. The footage showed the guards' aggressive tactics, flashing amber lights and demanding Marcus's ID, actions that mimicked police authority they didn't have. The evidence was damning. In court, Karen's smugness crumbled. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with a reputation for fairness, tore into the HOA's defense. "You're not law enforcement," she snapped. "You're a homeowners association, not a private militia." The dashcam footage sealed their fate, showing the guards' overreach in vivid detail. The judge ruled that the HOA's actions constituted selective enforcement and violated James's rights. She ordered the fines rescinded and slapped the HOA with a $50,000 penalty for legal fees and damages. But the real blow came when Ethan's evidence of the landscaping contract prompted a state investigation into the board's finances. Karen resigned in disgrace, and her husband's contract was terminated. The fallout was swift. Residents, emboldened by James's victory, demanded a new board election. Mrs. Patel, now a vocal advocate, ran for a seat and won, promising transparency and fairness. James's cabin became a symbol of resistance, with neighbors stopping by to thank him. "You showed them we're not powerless," Mrs. Patel said, tears in her eyes. James, ever the stoic Marine, simply nodded, just doing what's right. In the end, Willow Creek was transformed. The new board rewrote the CC and RS to limit vague rules and ensure due process. James's security detail stayed, a quiet reminder that one man's stand could topple a tyrant. His victory wasn't just about a ticket, it was about reclaiming freedom from petty dictators in pressed khakis. As Ethan put it, sometimes the smallest battles spark the biggest change. What do you think? Did James do the right thing by taking the HOA to court, or should he have found another way? Share your thoughts below.